So I'm a security engineer. I'm a security team lead. I help to run security for an IT monitoring organization. So I've been involved in the implementation of Zoom, right? How we sort of integrate it into our onboarding and our offboarding tools, how we manage licenses, how we deploy it to users, and how we administer it, particularly on the security side to add passwords and stuff like that. I think on the integration side, it was relatively easy. It was especially well documented. I think Zoom really had good documentation provided. And when there were gaps, there were sort of gaps in some of our specific workflows that we were really able to build on pretty effectively. One of the stuff that we really like about Zoom is the rock solid clients. They're easy for users to install. They can install them on any platform that they want. And we end up not having to worry about or manage a lot of the client implementation. Um, Zoom also the both the recording on device and the recording in the cloud features work very very well for us. So we end up really not having to worry and about a lot of sort of small day to day problems. They end up being sort of more architectural problems about if we want to support sort of a new feature or a new larger use case. So Zoom is a little bit expensive when we look at the overall cost, right? Cost per user, especially as we get into more expensive users that require more features. Zoom ends up being a little bit more expensive than some of its competitors. I think also Zoom ends up being a little bit harder to implement for the in-person conference rooms than we would have liked. That might be some of the additional security requirements that we put on, and it just didn't integrate as well. But it was definitely a little bit harder to integrate Zoom to our conference rooms. So while even though we talked about pricing, even though Zoom is more expensive, I think that one of the great things about Zoom is that we're paying for Zoom to manage a lot of the stability, and we have to put less engineers on the product, which really ends up saving us a lot of money and time in the long run, particularly on the support side. Also, for us, a lot of our salespeople like the name of Zoom. They think that it provides them additional confidence and brand presence when they move in, and if that works well for them, then we're happy to help support that. I'd recommend Zoom to users that have sort of outgrown the video products that are often integrated for free with a lot of the SaaS like office productivity offerings that exist out there. Things like Google Meet and Microsoft Teams. I think that there's a certain point at which users sort of start to experience some of the slowdown, some of the pain points of those products. Until then, I think you can save a lot of money if you don't implement Zoom, but sort of once you hit that critical mass when you're hitting those problems, Zoom can be great.